Welcome everybody in to another episode of Small Talk. We keep, taking these hiatus, these breaks, and coming back, new people. This time, hopefully, we're here to stay. Try to get out a weekly episode or two. And so right now, this is the crew we're working with: me, Brandon, Josh, who is enjoying a nice cold beverage for the first episode, and then Carson, sporting his Pittsburgh Pirates, who absolutely cost the Phillies a trade over the trade deadline.
Love to
But
see
that's
it.
neither here nor there. We got a lot to talk about: NBA free agency, big trades, NBA draft, NFL season is kicking off. We had the first week of training camp get underway, and so we'll kind of start there for a little bit. Biggest news I think in the NFL world, outside of the ongoing Deshaun Watson case that who knows when it will get solved. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. I kind of want to get your guys' thoughts on his holdout over the summer, and then kind of the press conference interview he did where he kind of exposed the whole organization. Basically, what are your thoughts on how Green Bay handled it, how Rodgers handled it, and then all signs point to him being on a new team next year. And I kind of want to get your guys' thoughts on what teams best fit him next year. Brandon, take it away.
All right, I'll go. Yeah. I'll be honest. I expected him to retire, so I was pretty shocked when he came back. I thought he was fully done with the Packers, but he's given them one more year. They're going to be in contention once again, probably, but once again, they're probably going to fall short. Their chemistry is even worse now. So, I expect another good year from him. There's probably going to be more conflicts throughout the season, and it's probably just going to end in disaster for him. I think next season, obviously, he's going to leave or maybe retire, but he'll probably go to another team. I like the Broncos for him. I think that would be a good fit for him. Denver, they've got a nice core, but their quarterback situation is just dreadful. Drew Lock is awful. I was a big Drew Lock guy. I really wanted to see. I took him last year in fantasy, thinking he was like the next Mahomes. He sucks. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers is great in Denver. So,
Josh, your thoughts?
So, I have very strong opinions on Aaron Rodgers.
You say Washington, I'm leaving.
I think he's a very good quarterback. Definitely top 10 in history. I think, though, his attitude stinks. I'll say that. I think that he's not a good leader for that clubhouse, and he's bringing a lot of unnecessary drama into the clubhouse. Because, you look at it, he's constantly complained about what he's been given on that offense. But if you look at it, he has Aaron Jones, that he has Devontae Adams, and has had very good receivers over his career, like Jordy Nelson and Randall, and they just got back Randall Cobb. You look at the offensive line. The offensive line was top 5 this past year. So he's had the weapons on offense. He's had the supporting cast, yet he's continuously made a big deal about, and he's made some fair points. The Packers organization has definitely mistreated some of their players on the way out, like Jordy Nelson and Charles Woodson. So I agree with that. But I think overall is that Rodgers has kind of just created a situation that didn't need to be created in the first place. And Brandon, I don't think the Packers are going to go all the way this year. I still just think that there's some really big issues with their linebacking core. And just they really struggle with pass coverage over the middle. So ultimately, I don't think they're going to beat out anyone in the NFC this year. And once Rodgers leaves after this year, I will say the Washington football team
I'm about to leave, bro. You're out of your mind.
Get a star quarterback. I'm saying if you have another good year like year, another top 5 showing from the defense, I don't see why he wouldn't consider the Washington football team, especially when you have young weapons on the offense like Terry McLaurin. And
what I'm just trying to figure out what players you're sending out there, because it seems like y'all already being hit with the COVID issues, and we're not even a full 2 weeks in a training camp.
Yeah, Ron is fired up.
I will say though, I'm glad the COVID issues are happening now and not during the middle of the season.
Yeah, later. Yep.
Your head coach is high risk, and Your team's
Nobody
vaccinated.
cares.
What's up with that?
No,
man?
Nobody cares that this man is fresh, just a year removed from beating cancer.
And I'll say that's their decision. That's their decision. They've been given all the information, so it's up to them. Personally,
All right.
it's up to them. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. So Carson, you got any idea on where Rodgers would be best suited next year?
It's kind of what Josh was stemming off of. I think he's got a sucky attitude in certain terms. He really, really antagonized the situation, I think, when he was ranting about that one guy, that receiver that got cut that he really liked. And then he said he was like the second best receiver on the squad. He wanted Cobb back. And then he posted that final dance thing that him and Devontae Adams both posted. So I really think he's sent the locker room as a whole in a downward spiral. I really think it's a situation that didn't need to happen under a veteran quarterback that's been with a franchise for, oh man, how many years now? It's going to demolish the whole morale of the team. I don't know how far they make it in terms of playoffs. You'd think they'd choke again like they always do, but I think I agree with Brandon. Denver. I like Denver for him. Gets a nice wide receiver core. A lot of young players to build on. So, yeah, I don't see why not.
I agree with y'all too. I definitely think in my notes, I definitely put Denver as the number one team. They have a couple young pieces on defense. They'll have Von Miller still there, Bradley Chubb, Justin Simmons. They drafted Patrick Surtain. And then, on offense, they got Jerry Jeudy. Cortland Sutton will be back this year, so he'll be there. So I think Denver's a good team. And I just think, I think Rodgers historically top 8 quarterback, top 5 maybe. I think he needs another ring to really solidify that top 5 case. But you can definitely argue for him. Could he handle it better? He could have. But at the same time, the organization, there's proof, in the pudding. They've not treated some of, the core players throughout the years, like he said, like he listed, Clay Matthews, Jordy Nelson, James Jones, guys who, on other teams, like a James Jones, wasn't successful. But for that Packers organization, the dude caught, 14 touchdowns one year? And so I think Rodgers has just gotten tired of, guys who are already on the team, they've made deep playoff runs and then they just, are walked out of the door, undervalued. So I definitely see. And then, the rumors are true that they've not really, let Rodgers in on any free agency decision or anything like that. Like, I've never heard of a team with a QB of that stature not allowed in making personnel decisions because, quite frankly, all the good quarterbacks, the decisions are run through them. I'm pretty sure Andy Reid consults with Patrick Mahomes. Is it all right if we let Sammy Watkins walk? I'm sure Russell. I mean, you saw Russell Wilson. How that happened. And so I think it's Green Bay. In my eyes, I think is more in the fault than Aaron Rodgers because it's a new age of athletes. They're going to voice their opinion. So I think that's all Aaron's doing. He's been quiet for all these years. This year, I think they'll make the playoffs still. I think the Vikings should be better, but then again, they have COVID issues as well. So I think they'll take care of the division, and then into the playoffs, I think they'll be matched up with the Bucks again. But I think this is a ship that's slowly sinking, unfortunately. Because I'm a big Aaron Rodgers guy, I'm a big Devontae Adams fan. But in other words, we've talked about the Packers going to the playoffs. Week 1 of training camp out of the way. So, of course, everybody's got their early season predictions. We'll go down the list for our early season MVP prediction. I'm going to start. I'll go with Patrick Mahomes. I think them being embarrassed in the Super Bowl, him having surgery, he'll come back fully healthy. And their offense was kind of hit or miss throughout the end of the season last year before the playoffs. I think he'll come back, with a vengeance, and I think Patrick Mahomes will light the NFL world on fire again. So that's my early season MVP prediction.
Off the top of my head for MVP, I mean, obviously Mahomes is there. I think in my opinion, I think he is the best football player ever. There's a difference between best and greatest. I think like if that makes sense, like greatness, like it comes to like accomplishments. If I'm just doing a draft of any player ever, I'm taking Mahomes number one. Hot take. I don't know if that's a hot take anyway. Some other names I'm thinking of. It would be tough for this guy to win considering he's in Mahomes' division, but I'm a big Justin Herbert guy and I like the Chargers a lot. And I think he has the ability to really pop off if he wanted to. Like the sky's the limit for the kid. So I could see him, but he'd obviously had to beat out Mahomes in his own division. Let's see. Heck, if Deshaun Watson for some reason was traded or something, Deshaun Watson's top 5 quarterback. But let's be honest, it's not happening. He's leading the league in court cases as of right now. So, you got Zach Wilson and Sam Darnold as well in the top.
Oh my God! Please stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Have you all seen Darnold in training camp? He's throwing like 5-6 pick sixes.
I can't say I'm tuned into the Carolina
It's like the New York Jet didn't leave him.
He's thrown so many pick sixes already.
All right, Josh, hit us with your MVP take.
So, once again, I agree. I was a really big Patrick Mahomes. I was on the big Pat Mahomes MVP train last year. Unfortunately, he didn't win it. Rodgers just had a better season. But I really think Mahomes is going to get this year. Just some other names in the running, like Brandon said, Justin Herbert. I'm a really big fan of Justin Herbert. I think he can definitely take that next step. And then Derrick Henry. I know it's really hard for running backs to win it right now, but I think if he puts another monster season, 2,000 yards and, upwards of 20 touchdowns, it's definitely possible. And then just some dark horses. I think a dark horse that could very well happen is Joe Burrow. I think that the division has certainly gotten worse. Each one of the secondaries has gotten worse, except the Ravens. So,
whoa!
I think
you hating on the Browns secondary?
I think the Browns secondary didn't get better by any means.
There's 2 quarterbacks in that division that could win an MVP over Burrow before him.
Oh, first of all,
I think Joe Burrow, and I think Joe Burrow has the weapons.
Okay.
Good numbers.
Their offense is legit. I don't know.
No.
I think it would just be dependent on the offensive line. If the
yeah, exactly. The offensive line is going to have to protect him, and they didn't do much to address it.
I know, and that was one of the big criticisms I had. I think they should have taken Sewell. But I think when you just look at the receivers that Joe Burrow has, it's definitely possible. And then lastly,
don't say it.
My last dark horse.
Don't say it.
MVP. Not one you guys are thinking. Jameis Winston.
Oh my!
I have him top 3 in my MVP. I'm not even joking. I have him top 3 as well.
Dude,
I thought you were going to say
he's not going to have his best receiver to start the year.
Here's what I'll say. I've always been a big Jameis Winston fan. I think his problem, of course, we know, has always been the turnovers. The thing is that he's been learning the past year under Drew Brees, who has been one of the better quarterbacks in limiting his turnovers. So I think that, and especially with the offense that the Saints run, it's a lot of slants, a lot of short passes, a lot of halfback screens. He's going to be utilizing Kamara a lot. So if he beats out Taysom Hill for that starting role, I think you're going to see a lot less interceptions. You probably won't see as many touchdowns, but the potential is definitely there for a good year from Jameis Winston.
I'm a big Jameis guy, but I just don't think they have the weaponry for him to have a big-time MVP season.
What?
Dude, Michael Thomas
on Jameis as anyone on earth, bro. This man, his last season as a starting quarterback, 5,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, 30 picks. All right, take that as it is. He goes to the Saints. He learns from a great coach, and Sean Payton learns from one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, Drew Brees. Can they cut down his interceptions from 30 to 20? Even cut a third of the interceptions. And he gets Michael Thomas, he gets Alvin Kamara, he gets Taysom Hill, I guess, whatever. He has great weapons.
Like I said, dark horse.
Yeah, I'm with that. Top 3 MVP this year. You heard it here first, bro. I'm telling you. I think I tweeted that somewhere.
Carson, hit us with your MVP take.
Wow. Okay. So obviously they're Mahomes. Yeah. Like everyone else said, big Pat Mahomes fan. Love his talent, love his ability. Dude has an amazing arm, puts it on a dime everywhere he throws it. He's got the weapons. He's a great candidate, no doubt. I'd love to see a running back win it. Like Josh was saying, Derrick Henry was definitely a contender. I'd love to see Alvin Kamara win it if he could stay healthy.
I think if a running back's going to win MVP, he'd have to have a monster rushing and receiving.
Christian McCaffrey, baby.
So I think the closest running back to being MVP would be either Christian McCaffrey, and if this dude ever was able to stay healthy, Saquon Barkley. Those are my two running backs that I think could possibly be MVPs, just because they're so dynamic running and catching out of the backfield.
Definitely.
Adrian Peterson got one last run in him. All day, baby. Josh knows all about that.
Washington football team.
But so we talked Rodgers, we talked Mahomes, throwing some other names like Burrow, Herbert. Top 5 quarterbacks right now. Brandon, hit us with your top 5.
All right, here we go. Off the top of my head, Mahomes. This isn't in order. I'm just thinking of names. Mahomes. I mean, you got to put Deshaun Watson in there. I feel like whether he plays or not, I don't know. But I mean, just based off of talent, I think he's top 5 easily. Let's see. Why is Baker coming to my mind? Baker's not a top 5 quarterback. That's all I can think about. I'm stuck on Baker because I really thought Josh was going to throw him out for MVP, and I was going to lose my mind. I got to look at the NFL teams real quick. Why am I blanking on quarterback? I'm in free agency mode. If y'all don't know, we're filming this Monday night. Free agency just started. My mind is on the NBA. Let me just look up the NFL teams real quick. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Aaron Rodgers, the top 5 for sure. Russell Wilson. So that's 3. Let's see. Definitely not Baker. I keep thinking about him. I don't like Josh Allen, so he's not top 5 for me. Let's see. Kyler's not there yet. Oh, wait, no, I said. So there's 4 there. We need one more. I don't know. Probably like Zach Wilson.
Dude, please.
Get out of here, bro.
Stop.
If I think of a 5th, I'll get back to you. But there's 4.
All right, here's my 5. You got Mahomes, 1. You got Rodgers. You got Russell Wilson, not Zach. Russell. You got Josh Allen, and then you got to throw him in there. Tom Brady. He's got to be in there. He's still, one of the clutch performers, and I think if he's fully healthy, no knee issues this year, they pretty much brought back the same team. I don't see why he wouldn't have another good year.
So I'll go pretty much the same. Pat Mahomes, Rodgers 1 and 2. Number 3, of course, Russ Wilson. 4. I just lost my train of thought. 4, I have Deshaun Watson. I think despite the legal issues, he's still definitely one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
He was in my top 5, but because of the issues and him not probably going to play this year, I took him out.
Yeah, and that's fair. And that's completely fair. But I'll keep him in mind. And then number 5.
Don't do it.
Number 5, I'm going to go ahead and say Justin Herbert.
I thought about it.
All right.
And usually I'm not a fan after their rookie year. I want to see more. But Justin Herbert has been one of the most electrifying players I've seen one of the most electrifying rookie quarterbacks I've seen since probably RG3. But
gosh,
even then, Herbert is just pure arm talent.
Oh, that was the name that came to mind.
He's not making the big running plays like RG3. He's making really good passes. He's leading his team well, and he's doing it with, okay weapons. Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler are good, but overall his weapons aren't great by any means. So I think what he did in his rookie year was just outstanding.
Before Carson gives his top 5, I'll say it because I think Josh wanted to say it, but he didn't want to. I'll say it, and it goes back to my MVP. Surprise MVP candidate, I feel like could be Baker Mayfield. I'm just saying, he got better as the year went on last year. He's got Odell back. He's got his 2 running backs. The offensive line is top 5. Their defense should be much better. I'm just saying that do not be surprised if Baker Mayfield has an MVP type season. And my Super Bowl matchup that I have written on my notes right now that we can circle back to is I have the Browns versus the Bucks in the Super Bowl.
Now, before I give you my top 5, I'm going to say this because Brandon is having a spasm on the other end of the mic.
A walk-off set for a second.
I am a Baker Mayfield fan. As weird as that
my gosh.
Brandon knows how much I like Baker. I'm sure Jaden's seen sprinkles of it in the group chat. I am a Baker believer.
Everyone loves Baker on here except me. I don't see the hype.
Brandon really does not like Baker, and I understand his reasons, some of them to a certain point, but I really think Baker plays with so much attitude that attitude carries over to a lot of confidence, and he builds off of it all the time. Like, I will say, to play against him doesn't scare me. I do get scared when I see Baker with the ball.
He can't see over the line.
Bro, but listen, if he's throwing dots, he's throwing dots. He's playing a
but he's not. His completion percentage is falling every year.
The quarterback the Jets just took is short.
I'm aware. I don't like him. I didn't want him.
Hey, another surprise.
That is true.
He's still going to be MVP, but whatever.
Another surprise. He's not going to win MVP, but don't be shocked if he has a good year.
Don't be shocked if they're 6-11 as well.
Jalen Hurts is going to have a good year.
Oh, stop!
Oh, God.
Stop it!
Give me a break.
Stop it!
Jalen Hurts is going to have a good year.
Jalen Hurts will be benched by week 5.
No way,
Who's your backup? I don't even know who he is.
Currently, it's Joe Flacco.
Broadway Joe's coming in week 5, taking
Hurts.
out of the playoffs.
Dude, Flacco's not had a good camp so far. He's been beaten out by Nick Mullins.
All right, you ready for this? Here we go. I'm putting my Charles Barkley guarantee down. All right, we'll come back to this at the end of the year. The Eagles will not win more than 3 games this year. Three is the cap.
Sir.
If they win a fourth, I'll be shocked. I guarantee.
All right, this is not even.
I'm putting the sound clip in of Charles Barkley. Guaranteed.
This is not even me being biased, but you got rid of a quarterback last year who couldn't stay healthy. He had turnover issues. You bring in a quarterback now who, after a year, he's gotten better every single year of his career, going back to his freshman year at Alabama. He's a big time player.
So far.
Okay, he's got some
Trailblazers. Holy cow!
Right. He's got some turnover issues. Don't get me wrong, but if he can correct those with his ability on the ground as well, we have We have a weapon in Devontae Smith. We still have Ertz and Goddard, Miles Sanders. Offensive line should be healthy, and if it is,
how you didn't name
top
one of your weapons there.
And then people are sleeping on our defense. We literally have Darius Slay, Steven Nelson, who Carson knows about. Steven Nelson, he's a very solid cornerback. We still have Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, Derek Barnett, and then we brought in Eric Wilson, who is an underrated signing. He's only 26 years old.
Not even
Eagles are going 7-10.
Okay, you mentioned Darius Slay. Did you mean to say Terry McLaurin's son? Because that's what he is. Darius Slay got abused by literally every wide receiver in the this past year.
I'm telling you, three is the cap for y'all. Y'all are not winning more than 3 games. In the worst division in football, you're not winning more than 3 games.
Outside of the games against Devontae Adams and DK Metcalf, Darius Slay held opposing receivers to 48 yards a game.
Outside of the games against 2 of the best receivers in football.
Dude, most corners are struggling against those guys, though.
Oh, my gosh. And that's what
can
you're
we
paying
have
big
Carson's
bucks
top
for.
5?
Listen,
I hope it's
top 5 doesn't really – like, the top 3 doesn't really change, obviously. It shouldn't for anyone. 4, I think Brady's still got to be up there, honestly. I mean, he's proved too much. He still has the talent. It's like he never ages. So Brady's still got to be up there for me. And then 5, heading into the season for 5, I think Lamar Jackson.
Oh, my gosh.
I hate Lamar Jackson. So don't start thinking I'm a Lamar Jackson fanboy. But I think he brings it back.
Dude, he can't throw the ball, dude. I cannot watch a Ravens game because he's either handing the ball off, running it himself, or he's chunking it 8 feet above his current receiver.
Bro, the other day, the Ravens posted a clip that said, "Oh, Lamar's got a wide receiver 1," and like it was a pass in practice. It wasn't even Lamar that threw the ball; it was Trace McSorley.
Right on a dime, baby.
Lamar to me is so hit or miss because there'll be moments where he'll look like an NFL quarterback throwing wise, and then he'll have games where like he struggles to complete passes, and it's like, dude, like you are somewhat the reason the Ravens are being held back is because you can't take the game over through the air. You might be able to take it over the ground, but when you're trailing by so many points, you can't keep running the ball and get back in the game.
To me, Lamar is Russell Westbrook. Great regular season.
That's your dude now.
I know, I have to root for him, but by the playoffs, he's one-dimensional. Defenses can lock in on him, game plan for him a lot easier, and it's just a lot harder to have that type of game work in the playoffs. So I just don't see it with him.
Yeah. I mean,
MVP is a regular season award. He's won it before.
Yeah. We'll see how these preseason games go. If there's any other news, and we'll touch more going into our season on some of our other predictions. But yeah, big day at NBA. Big last week and a half really with the draft taking place on Thursday. And to be honest, I gotta admit, I used to be so invested in the draft because the Sixers used to be so terrible. But like this past draft, I wasn't as invested. They picked 28. I'm waiting for Ben Simmons to get traded. I could care less.
He's never getting traded with what y'all want.
Oh,
it's a little ridiculous.
A
little, yeah.
Okay, that Golden State deal was like James Wiseman, Andrew Wiggins, and 4 first-round picks. Oh my goodness,
bro! Hear me out. This is where we're coming from. Outside of his terrible offensive performance, he's on contract for another 4 years. He's only 25. He's an three-time All-Star. He's an All-NBA defender. Potential. So like, there's a lot of positives still, and he's under contract for 4 more years. So
you're useless in the half court.
See, and I get that. I completely get that. I would understand why a lot of teams would want Ben Simmons. Like you said, he's good passer, good rebounder, good defender. He's good all around. The problem though is that if you're a team that needs shooting,
it's not gonna happen.
Guy,
every team virtually.
There were just so many times he just stalled the Sixers offense.
You're telling me I had to watch it.
He can't do anything in the half court.
I mean, even
He's
if you
useless.
Even if you look at the shoot. Who do you guys get eliminated by? Was it the Bucks?
Hawks.
That's right. If you just look at that Hawks series, he was so ineffective games 5 and 6.
Dude, he was every game outside of Philadelphia, the dude sucked.
Bro, I'm still cracking up. And
like the man was getting
Trae Young, baby,
bodied by Clint Capella.
Really, Clint is.
John Collins dunked on him.
Bro. That had to be the most diminished mentally.
He had a wide open dunk, and he didn't.
That man was mentally beaten.
Bro, he had a wide open dunk, and he passed it up.
He was.
And then Joel said we were falling apart when we had a wide open dunk, and we settled for.
That is not how I wanted to start the basketball segment.
Bro, it's so funny.
I wanted to start on the biggest trade that went down. The Los Angeles Lakers acquiring point guard Russell Westbrook. In return, the Wizards got 3 guys that just eat up space on the floor and cap space. They got Kuzma, ACP, and Harrell.
Wizards won the trade.
We're not looking at it from a Wizards perspective just because, even if they make the playoffs, it's Josh apparently is so high on them. He has them 3 or 5 seed.
That's their ceiling. That's their ceiling. That's their ceiling.
He tweeted out. Josh tweeted out that his.
Go back and look at the tweet, and
he said their ceiling was the third.
Kuzmania.
That's the ceiling. Like I said.
KCP lead them to the third seed.
All right. Anyways, we'll save Brandon's thoughts for last. Josh, what are your thoughts on the Lakers acquiring Russell Westbrook?
So my only thing is that I think, like I said, I after this season, I was always skeptical of Russ, especially after just seeing. I had a really big problem. I thought he was a stat pattern on the Thunder, but he came when he came to the Wizards, he really brought a mindset that is just tenacious and vicious and dangerous, and he makes guys around him better mentally. I think he brings a winning attitude to the team, and he builds players up. Now, like I said, and he's good all around on the floor. I mean, wherever you need, rebounding, inside scoring, playmaking, defense, he's got it. The one problem that I have with him is he's a god-awful shooter. And when he tries to take over games, it just backfires so bad, especially in the playoffs. In the playoffs, when we were playing the Sixers, I think 3 of those games, he was shooting like around 30% from the field. So I think that when he tries to take over games, and he does, it's just his play style, it really backfires on the team. And I think the main problem with the Lakers is, he's going to bring a lot of good energy and a lot of good leadership to that team. But that spacing and that shooting is not going to be very helpful to what the Lakers need.
My thoughts are, I think the Lakers will be a dominant regular season game, just because you have 3 dudes who, are all NBA players. They'll make it work in the regular season. Now, the playoffs is where, as a Sixers fan, having to watch Ben Simmons, the floor strengths, half-court setting, and Russell Westbrook is just not a good half-court player. Brandon, you and I witnessed firsthand in Oklahoma City what he does to a team. They're better off with Dennis Schroeder out there than Russell Westbrook. I think that game, he was like 4 of 20 something. He just shoots you out of games. And I can see that being an issue with LeBron in the postseason when Westbrook gets in those modes where he wants to do everything himself. And I think that's detrimental to a team where still, quite frankly, everything's going to be ran through LeBron. LeBron's going to want the ball in the playoffs, regardless, as much as the Lakers say they want to run him at power forwards. When the game gets down to the nitty-gritty, LeBron wants the ball in his hands. And if the ball's in his hands, what the hell is Russell Westbrook even on the court?
Yeah, I think that was my biggest concern with the whole thing. How are the Lakers going to share the ball? How efficient is it going to be? I love Russ. I have to agree with what Josh said. Russ brings a hard mentality, a win now mentality. He wants to win the game. He wants the ball in his hands. But like he said, Russ can't shoot. And Russ is kind of a head case. When he backfires, the whole plan backfires, because the whole plan's through him. He can't share the ball near as well as he wants to when he gets in the mentality of give me the ball now. He just wants to score. He wants to dominate.
All right. So I've had a lot of time to think about this. Obviously, my first reaction was I hate it. I've long been the biggest Westbrook hater in the world. I don't think he is necessarily great at basketball. I think he's just one of those guys that plays hard and gets results, But I've had some time to think about it. I've looked at Westbrook's advanced statistics. I've looked at how I think the fit will work. And it's probably just because I'm trying to be optimistic, but it's not as bad as I thought. So we've never seen Westbrook as a third option on a team. We've never seen Westbrook play with LeBron James, obviously. And if anyone's going to make Westbrook work, I think it would be LeBron. It's obviously a hard task. A couple of things. One, we now get to move AD to the 5, which he should be playing anyway. He's been great at the 5. It's where we've been the best for the last 2 seasons. We've been one of the best teams in the league when he's at the 5, which is great for us. LeBron at the 4 is going to create more spacing, which we desperately need. It's going to open up, passing lanes which we don't have many at the moment, but we're still looking to see who our 2 and 3 are. I doubt Wayne Ellington and Trevor Ariza start. I was looking at some things, and you were saying when LeBron gets the ball and stuff, and Westbrook is 99th percentile in the league in cutting to the basket. And I think when LeBron has the ball, you said, what is Westbrook going to do? I mean, yeah, obviously a lot of LeBron teams, people spot up in the corner, but Westbrook 99th percentile in cutting to the basket. And to go along with that, we had the best lob threat in the NBA and Anthony Davis, who last season, Dennis Schroeder threw one lob to Anthony Davis the entire year. One. Westbrook is going to create so many lob attempts for Anthony Davis that Anthony Davis is going to be an MVP caliber player next season. He is going to absolutely feast. Defenses cannot double team Anthony Davis as easily as they want next year because when
he can stay healthy.
When LeBron attacks, get out of here, bro.
That's true.
Just about to say that.
He had 71-day off season. What do you want?
AD low key has been a little injury prone throughout his career.
He really hasn't been as bad as you think. Kent Bazemore to the Lakers. Whoa. Kent Bazemore to the Lakers. Interesting. I like it. Long defender. I like it.
He can't shoot, though.
Also, another former Laker has been signed. That's 4 for 4, ladies and gentlemen. We're just bringing the band back together. Danny Green's next. I'm calling it. All right. Where was I at?
Please.
Danny Green on a minimum bricking is way better than Danny Green on 15 million bricking, so I'll take that. Kent Bazemore's anyway. We just had another nice defender that can shoot a little bit. Anyway, Anthony Davis, he really has not been injured as you think. If you actually look at his games played in his career, he has not missed that much time. Like he genuinely hasn't. Like he's had lingering injuries, but he's played through a lot of them. Last season was the worst he's ever been. And that's because he had 71-day offseason. He had a long offseason this time, and now he's going to have a pressure taken off him where he can even take nights off if he wants to because we're going to have someone that's attacking the basket every single night in Russell Westbrook, which is why I think we traded for him. We have two of the best playmakers in the NBA now who are going to attack the rim so hard that Anthony Davis is going to be wide open because people have to go at LeBron and Russell Westbrook. AD is going to be sitting right there in a perfect position for a lob or a putback or just bounce pass right to him. He's going to get so many dunks next season. It's going to be unbelievable. Not to mention he's the best defensive player in the world. Lakers going to win the title.
So you really just snuck that defensive part in there.
Who's better?
Even though literally today.
Get out of here.
No, time out. Hold on. I will pull it up. Literally
you say
today.
Ben Simmons, I'm losing my mind.
Hold up. There's a poll done by The Athletic, and they polled GMs, members across the league.
I don't care.
Team, and Ben Simmons.
Did they poll and ask if I cared? Because I don't.
Okay, I would take your boy Rudy Gobert as a defender over Anthony Davis.
You're out of your ever-loving mind.
Dude, come on, man.
Anthony Davis got 45 on him in the bubble. 45.
Yeah, the bubble. Bring it. Yes.
He had a step-back 3 in his face to win the game. Kent Bazemore.
I love Rudy.
I got to post another Photoshop I made, bro. Hold on.
One sec. What?
All right, while you're doing that, we'll move on. Some more potential trades down the line. 2 big players who we don't know if they're fully on the trade block or not because they really haven't came out publicly, but that's Bradley Beal and Damian Lillard. Personally, I think it's time for both of them to leave their respective teams. I don't see how their current teams, how they're built, they're going to get the best out of these players. So I think they both need to personally be moved to a different team. And so we're going to, talk about the potential landing spots for both of these players. We can start first with Damian Lillard. Josh, your take on where you think Dame's best suited for?
So I have thought for a few years now that Damian Lillard was going to leave. I'm kind of surprised he's not requested a trade. So on him for that loyalty. But yeah, I would just say that the Blazers have kind of failed him. CJ McCollum, who was originally going to look like a very solid number 2, is just kind of fallen off a bit. And I mean, they haven't really just put enough talent around Dame. So I think he will be gone soon. Definitely at least in the next 2 years. or the next 2 off seasons. A good landing spot. I know I've seen a lot of talk about possibly going to the New York Knicks. I've seen he's had a lot of interest there. I've also seen Boston.
I don't believe that at all.
But overall, I can see either of those 2 teams. As for Bradley Beal, I'll tell you where he's going to land, and that's DC. He is leaving DC.
Goodness.
He is going to be a Wizard for life.
Where careers go to rot.
And because and I'll say we're building something special in DC.
No, you're not. No, you are not. Y'all are as irrelevant as it gets. Nothing is happening.
Building something special in DC.
Dude, outside of Bradley Beal, who else is there to build around? What's the next?
I mean, you got Rui Hachimura. Look at what Rui's doing.
Gosh.
If you look at what he's
Oh
doing
my gosh.
for the Japan national team right now in basketball, he's going insane. He's putting.
Dude, that's so different, dude. Evan Fournier looks like fucking Michael Jordan out there in international.
Hey, Evan Fournier just got $20 million from the Knicks, so I wouldn't.
Exactly, and the Knicks are about to.
But I'll tell you that I think Beal is going to continue to trust the system over in DC. We just got a new coach.
Trust what system? There is no system.
You got to coach. You got to coach.
So I'll tell you, I don't think Beal's leaving. I think he's going to stay a Wizard for a little bit longer.
Poor guy.
All right, for me,
Suck.
I think Lillard and Beal could be used on multitude of different teams. I saw Stephen A. Smith, probably the stupidest take I've heard of him. He's got a lot of those.
He's got a lot.
But this one, he said Lillard should go to the Knicks, and he can recruit players like Jason Tatum or Joel Embiid there. Well, there's one answer where if you wanted to play with Joel Embiid, you could easily do that without having to go to the Knicks. And I think
why the heck would Tatum go to New York?
And I think Lillard's probably best fit would be with the Sixers because of the 1-2 punch him and Embiid create.
I'm about to end this call, bro.
Dude, I've been thinking about it. The last time the Trailblazers, he had a great connection and great chemistry with him and LaMarcus Aldridge. All respect to LaMarcus and all, but Joel Embiid is 10 times the offensive player and basketball player that LaMarcus Aldridge was.
Had that midi, bro. That mid-range was lethal.
That pick and roll combo with Lillard and Embiid, that's going to just create headaches for teams. You got the best scoring big in the league. Hakeem Olajuwon 2.0. You have Damian Lillard, who
scoring big,
who's probably one of the best scoring guards in the league. That combo would just be deadly. And as far as Bradley Beal, I personally don't think he's the number one on a championship team. I just don't think his play style. I don't think he's the number one. He needs to go to a team where he's the number two.
Imagine Beal in Dallas. I'm just saying.
I think Beal would look good. I know Dallas wants to move Porzingis. I don't know if the Wizards would take on Porzingis' contract.
Bro, Kuzma and Porzingis on the same team.
I think Beal.
I got to get Ben Simmons at that point too.
I think Beal
Sharks.
I think Beal would be a good fit for the Mavs, and prior to what the Heat did, I think Beal would have been a good option for the Heat as well, because I think Beal's the better player than Jimmy Butler, but I think Jimmy Butler's persona, he carries himself as a number one, so I think he would have been a good fit for the Heat as well.
Bro, shout out to Jimmy Butler. He's making $40 million at age 40 or whatever, something like that. Good for him.
Jeez. Wow.
Also, biggest news of the day, of course, Alex Caruso to the Bulls. I hate to see him go. The most impactful defensive guard in the NBA last season. But not an opinion, actual fact. Look at the stats. Just versatile as they come, just Swiss Army knife. Yeah, one of the greats in Lakers history. Hate to see him go.
Big stat guy, Brandon Ramirez is.
I
loves that
guy. How about my boy Lonzo? Next Jordan.
I think that's a good fit, but
I like tear down Jordan's statue and put up Lonzo.
Shut up.
I don't know. I feel like with the Bulls, they're a team that if if they clicked right, they'd be a good team. But there's just something missing that they can't click right. They got a handful of good players.
Their wings are terrible.
But yeah, they just
So
like
bad.
you would think they'd be good if you looked at the roster. Lonzo, Zach LaVine, Lauri Markkanen,
Markkanen's
Vucevic.
gone, right? Isn't he gone?
No, I
Did
think
see
he
something.
back.
I thought I saw something. Maybe.
I think
I might be
I think
tripping.
he's a restricted free agent right now.
I don't know.
But you would think looking at the roster they would be good, but then just something they never can get going, and they're never, I don't think they tap into the potential like they should.
Oh yeah, Markkanen. He was rumored to the Spurs. He didn't land there. Never mind.
But if you trotted a lineup of Lonzo, Kobe White, Zach LaVine,
Kobe White's in a
Markkanen,
weird place too.
and Vucevic, I think they'd be a solid team, but I just would have to see how they play.
It's gonna be fun to watch. I'll tell you that. It's gonna be.
They got a good.
At least
got a good
Chicago's
young
exciting, bro.
Yeah.
They're poor fans.
Talk about
So
poor
poverty, bro.
Fans. Talk about poor fans.
That's what I'm saying. Jaden, here we go. Give me a realistic Ben Simmons trade package. And if you mention 4 first-round picks, you might as well just leave.
I want to hear this.
All right. So realistically, I would send Ben. I would try to keep either Tyrese Maxey or Matisse Thybulle if possible. So I would try to go with Ben Simmons, Tyrese Maxey, Jaden Springer, and a first-round pick for Damian Lillard. Jaden Springer's who we took in the first round this year out of Tennessee.
Jerry
Springer gets sent to Portland. I don't know, man. I feel like Portland fans would just completely lose their minds if they gave up their best player ever for Ben Simmons, bro.
This city'd be burned, bro.
I don't know, man.
But do they take it? Like,
you know what's crazy is that deal would not even be enough for what they're asking for currently.
Oh, dude. No.
They would be like, "Oh, Portland, we're going to need 10 first rounders from you as well, and CJ McCollum.
I want your whole franchise.
No, we want everything. We want your ring back in the 70s as well."
I want the remains of Scottie Pippen.
For you.
Yeah. Arvydas Sabonis from the grave, not even dead. Is he dead? I don't even know. I'll keep up with Blazers legend.
What's it called? To be honest, we turned down this offer earlier, but if we would have gotten Brogdon and LeVert, I wouldn't have been too mad.
Y'all could have had James Harden. Y'all could have had James Harden.
Pretty bad when you look back on.
Well, we don't have.
Y'all made a
James
super
Harden.
team instead for the Nets. Y'all could have been your own super team. You could have had the best shooting guard, arguably, and the best center, arguably. But nope, you wanted to have a guy that shot 4 times in the fourth quarter the whole freaking round.
Man.
Come on, man.
James
Harden was on one leg and he shot more than that in the fourth. Come on, dude.
Come on.
Y'all are so poverty.
No.
I can't take it.
Yeah,
I picked y'all to go to the finals as well. You let me down.
Yeah. We know how big of a fan of Ben Simmons I am. So
I literally looked at the bracket and I was like, all right, Hawks second round, easy dub for the Sixers, probably 5 games. They're out of here. Nope. Trae Young had a new son. And Simmons put him in a diaper. Embarrassing.
This hairy lollipop, bro. Imagine.
Yeah, y'all lost to a lollipop, bro.
Okay, so I know we've been focused on basketball, but I do want to bring up an issue that I'm sure is very close to your heart, Jaden. Carson Wentz.
Oh my gosh, dude.
As you see, the NFL followed him from Philadelphia, and now he's out anywhere from 5 to 12 weeks.
It'll be 5.
So
Now,
what
that
needs to
has
happen?
implications- That has
so what?
implications on you guys.
So what needs to happen is he needs to play 75% of their snaps for us to get the first round pick.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Or 70% of the snaps and make the playoffs. So realistically, he would need to be back by week 2 to play. And he can do that because that's that 5 to 12 week span. But if he doesn't, if he does, great. Leaves us, 3 first rounders. We can do whatever we want with that. Hurts is the guy. We can go out and draft 3 dudes. If he's not, you got 3 first rounders to go get somebody like Deshaun Watson if he's available. And then, it's like one last screw job. The last one, stick it to us, get hurt, because they said this injury has been slowly developing since high school. Yeah, exactly. Worst case scenario, if he doesn't play and they suck, we get a very high second round pick, and that still gives us some flexibility. 2 firsts, 2 seconds. If you say, if we're going to be 3-win team, we'll have a high first round pick. We'll have the Dolphins pick. Is it the Dolphins pick, or it's the 49ers pick? We'll have the 49ers pick, and then we'll have 2 high second picks if the Colts suck. I think that's still doable to go out and get somebody like Deshaun Watson.
And then also your twig of a wide receiver.
Bro, it's precautionary. It's precautionary.
Oh my goodness.
Precaution. He'll be good. He'll be right for the regular season. That's all that matters.
Oh my gosh.
See about that.
And when
I'm just saying, I kind of agree with Brandon's sentiment. I don't think the Eagles are going to be that good this year. I think they're better than the Giants. Don't get me wrong. I think they're better.
I don't think so.
It's going to be. I think it hurts.
I'll take Daniel Jones in a heartbeat over Jalen.
All right. So this is the question then. Which team is going to be better this year? The Eagles or the Jets?
The Jets, without a doubt. It's not even a question of life.
No.
We will double, possibly triple your wins. You heard it.
Our defense is better.
Guaranteed.
Our defense is better. Our defense is better.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Dude, we have proven Pro Bowlers on our defense.
So do we.
Who? You have one?
Quentin Williams, Marcus May, C.J. Mosley.
C.J. Mosley hasn't played in 2 years.
Come on.
C.J. Mosley's lost like
C.J. Mosley has not played
his entire life. He's in the best shape of his life. He looks incredible. Not to mention Carl Lawson added to the defensive line. Sheldon Rankins on the defensive line.
Fletcher Cox.
I'll bring up Marcus May again.
Darius Slay. Dude, they're not. If he's so good, why are they not paying him?
We don't pay our safeties. It's just a thing we do, I guess. I don't know. Apparently, we don't pay anyone. Our quarterback took forever.
I think the Eagles will be better than the Jets this year.
Wait, we play y'all. We're gonna get our first franchise win over y'all. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna throw a parade.
I think it just depends on how the divisions play out. Because
we have a way tougher division than y'all. I will say that.
Because the Jets, they're going to deal with, of course, the Bills.
Dolphins.
The Jets are most likely going to be playoff caliber again. And the Patriots improved.
They got Bill Belichick, man. You can never count them out, yeah.
So,
it's way better than the Giants.
The Jets have a lot of tough competition, but also, the Eagles – the Eagles have never been exceptionally great against the NFC East. They're usually always splitting one with Dallas or New York.
Poverty.
We've dominated the Giants statistically for the last 8 years.
That's not saying much. It's really not saying much at all.
I don't know. It'll just depend on the division strength, I think, because healthy Dallas, a better Washington. It's going to be a tough division.
Better Washington? How are y'all better? Y'all literally just brought in Fitzpatrick. Ooh, better.
We added William Jackson III on our defense.
Yeah.
Landon Collins. We just added Jamin Davis.
Gosh, bro.
We'll be all right.
Y'all stink.
Honestly,
Jets. I can guarantee that. We will be better than the Jets.
I'll give y'all that. We will double or triple the wins of the Eagles, though.
No,
guaranteed.
Bro,
no.
Come on.
No.
Double or triple. And it's not hard to do considering y'all have 3 wins. That's only 6. I think there's a chance we win 10 games, but
I don't think you guys win over 6.
I think we win 6 easily.
No.
Easily win 6.
Ease?
With ease. That is bare minimum for what this season we will accomplish.
No.
Bare
Carson,
minimum.
Are you a Steelers fan?
Yeah. Yeah.
He thinks Big Ben is like the next big thing or something.
No, shut up. You're gonna
Big Ben for Rookie of the Year.
You're gonna spew this bullshit as if I made Big Ben to be some like absolute historic threat. Wait, I'm
You do.
What's your opinion on Dwayne Haskins?
bro.
Next big thing.
Let's put it this way. I was pretty shocked with what I saw coming out of camp. I'm not gonna say he's anything special. I'm saying he was the first rounder for
See, that was my thing. He killed it for us at camp. He was putting out workout videos where he was just killing it. And then he decided to go to strip clubs. So
James Harden, baby.
Now I don't think Pittsburgh has as good as strip clubs as the DB. I'm just saying.
He'll be good.
Was he gonna pay for the liquor too?
What's going on here with Jaden? What's going on?
All right, so
What's going on over
I can't say I can't. I'll tell you off camera because I can't because of legal implications.
Oh,
I can't.
What?
Sean Watson.
No,
we got
not me.
Sean Watson of the podcast.
No.
What the heck? Jaden's going to the massage parlor.
Bro.
What the heck, bro?
Is that it for this episode?
Seems like it.
All right, so we're gonna try to get this up by Thursday, and then we'll be doing probably weekly recording on Mondays and get it out later in the week. Josh is always welcome back on. I love his stupid takes; they make me laugh. Here and there, he'll hit one on the head, but besides that, all right, just for fun, 1v1, Brandon and Josh, who's winning?
I beat him when we just played like last month.
Oh no!
Oh, wait, y'all played last month?
Yeah, I beat him, and I had a bad back. I could barely walk.
Oh my god,
so bad.
Bad back.
What was
He
the
walked
score?
in before the game started. I was like, dude, my back is killing me. I'll play anyway. I beat
I don't
him.
remember what the score was.
And it wasn't even close. It was like
It was close.
it was like 15 to like 7.
Oh, it was not that bad.
I think I doubled
my
your
worst
score.
shooting performances.
Dude, he might be the worst shooter on earth.
Worst.
I'm just gonna say it. He
Come
makes
on.
Ben Simmons look like Seth Curry.
Oh man, no.
I'll tell you though, I dominate the all-time series. That's all I'll say.
Dog. Okay, so we played for people at home. We played the first time. I'm up 19 to 15. We're going to 21. I start messing around and he comes back. All right. So the second time I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna let you off the hook, dog. I had an asthma attack. I could not breathe.
Oh my god!
I couldn't breathe. I literally was gasping for air. I didn't have an inhaler or anything. He beat me when I couldn't breathe. And we
the
played,
back injury
and then
that
the
he was
first
just
time,
staying.
my back was bad. And I beat him.
That was the excuse in case he lost.
I told you before.
But he
when
didn't
this
lose,
didn't
though.
happen.
But he didn't lose, so the
In case he
excuses
lost,
really don't
he
matter.
always has an excuse ready.
Why would I mention it before?
I've been on hand for a couple of these matchups. I will say, I'm trying to remember all these matchups on who's like up in the series because Brandon is so dependent on his.
Time he's beat me.
Because Brandon is so dependent on his shot that if it's not on, he literally will struggle. Just because he doesn't give an ounce of effort on defense. So if his shot is not on, he's not even close on the 1v1.
I'm telling you, I'm Lonzo Ball, bro.
Now as for team player, I would much rather play with Josh than I would Brandon.
Brother. Josh is Pat Bev.
Bro.
But Pat Bev can kind of shoot as a
I know with Josh is that he's a hustler. He'll play defense. He'll rebound, and then if he gets a rebound,
on the other team.
and if he gets a rebound, I know he'll kick it back out to me. Whereas with Brandon, if he's almost like a black hole. If you give it to him, you don't know if it's coming back.
Bro, Carson. Last time we played, like we were just playing, right? Like it was like 4-on-4 or something, and we're playing against like 12-year-olds. Bro, Josh almost like threw hands. Bro.
The kid was climbing on my back. He was like,
bro,
I was giving him piggyback rides.
Bro,
bro,
Bobby Hill
He's
was there as
12,
well.
bro.
Papa
He
Bobby.
doesn't know how to play defense.
Bobby Hill was there. Bobby Hill's a sniper.
Oh God.
Bro, when I come out to Arkansas, I got a lot of people to play 1v1.
Bobby Hill. Bobby Hill's gonna
I
have
got a lot
other
of Jaden.
arrangements going on. So
I'm sick.